folks here in Florida definitely used to this. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the 100-pound factor early.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. This defense for the Giants much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Getting ball angles.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Under pressure, they got him again. Dexter Lawrence. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So now here are the Giants backed up to start their first drive. They're led out by a former first-round selection back in 2025 out of Ole Miss. It's Jackson Dart.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Dart. Escapes the sack. And his throw is incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Brings up 3rd down and
10. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots.
You're testing my memory.
And also Super Bowl 48, which was Broncos-Seattle when the snap went over the head of the QB, and guess what?
Oh, that is going to be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and find a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
Taking it about the 16. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Now Lawrence. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
22 more yards there, another first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Here's a 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Hunter now will go in motion left. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. He will push his way down to about the 14. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. He'll try and do this himself. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's another Jaguars first down. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Dobbins running out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Lawrence. Touchdown! J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to extend their lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. It takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. You look at this Jaguar defense, and they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Fielded at the 20. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. At their own 27. On play action, they'll throw. Short pass caught by Henry. Will be hit down at the 43, 5 yards on the play.
And that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Here's 3rd and 3.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
The slot man in motion right.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. This will wind up a loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
On play action, here's Dart.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
And fake the give. Now it's Dart.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll try to draw here with Dobbins.
Works his way inside the 30 on the pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
Cam Little on for the field goal. A 46-yard attempt.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Running right, here's Estiman.
And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 33-yard line.
Dart.
And he rifles one incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
From the gun, Dart. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Guys, man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Brian Thomas,
his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. It across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try to put some pressure on the defense.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of 2. 8
yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 48-yard line.
Straight ahead, Estime. And a strong run there as they'll take this all the way down to the 35.
First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. The running game fully in sync, 1 to 11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play.
That is Josh Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
To throw, Dart.
And he whips that one incomplete there. The Giants on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Looking to throw, Dart.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Right there in coverage, credit Greg Newsom with getting a hand on it. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
Officially, that'll be marked down is just a 28-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
The Jaguars offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
82 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he's just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
Feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
On the tackle. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
They'll run. This is Bashal Tootin.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Lawrence will throw.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Abdul Carter
able to drop it for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
The New York set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here's Dart.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Joshua Hines-Allen. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
Lawrence. And his pass incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Lawrence hit him, the ball is free. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Play action. Now Dart. And this one is going to be off the mark. Too far out in front. 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun is Dart.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Right where this set of down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Dart's going to look to throw here.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have an excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. In motion, the tight end.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 99 yards on the ground here for Dobbins, and a 1st down coming up.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
On the counter now, it's Dobbins.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Now Lawrence. Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
They'll throw now on the final play.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he goes out right around the 39.
Halftime coming up. Let's get you downstate an hour or two to Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime
Our tour
report.
around the NFL starts now at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. The Bengals at home to take on the Steelers in a physical matchup in the AFC North. And it's Joe Burrow. He connects for a 5-yard touchdown. The Bengals are off to a 3-0 start as they get the victory. And with that, a look at what else is going on around the NFL here in week number 3. Meanwhile, our game has not been all that competitive, a one-sided affair through 2 quarters, as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
First down. First and 10 at the 41.
On play action, here's Dart. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Giants first down.
A play fake, and now it's Dart.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
It's second down and 10.
Throwing his Dart. That's complete. It's Neighbors.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
32 yards. That's another Giants first down. First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
To the air, Dart.
Got a man, and he hits it in stride. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Malik Neighbors.
His second touchdown on the season.
And the Giants are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Kick this one away, and off it goes.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Giants defense now ready as they trot back out onto the field.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Brian Burns able to record his 5th sack of the season. Had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
Robinson hauling it in outright.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4, 2nd down coming up.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
2 yards a gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Throwing, dart.
Throw left side complete. That's right. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
14 yards. And the Giants first down. A gain of 14. First down, Giants.
Now Dart. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slam, and it's intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field.
He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your running.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Another route here with Dobbins.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
That's a gain of 5.
Now Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
That's good for a Jaguars first down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Now Lawrence to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned,
the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators? They say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job. But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spotted it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And the Giants ready to come out now.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really unfortunate for them to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On the give, it's Estime.
And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
At the 15-yard line. A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up
throwing his dart.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying, we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
The Jaguars offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down. At the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
124 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville.
They're going to run this with a tight end. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And Dobbins, he is not going to get there. They stop him short of the line to gain.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
New York set to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news now. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And the Giants first down. A gain of 19 yards.
Here's Dart.
Jaguar pressure and Jaguar sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher, takes on the challenge of blitzing, and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking middle, and that's complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there for the Giants. 42 yards.
First down, Giants.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
To throw is Dart. A throw right side caught by Neighbors.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
15 more yards. That's another Giants first down.
To throw, Dart.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
The Giants will line up.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14.
28. Giants 14.
So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line.
He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins.
And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run.
131 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Going to let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And the Giants, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
On the ground with a tight end. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He's brought down at the 31. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
To throw now, Dart. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. At the 26-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
He'll try to do it himself. And he gives himself up, but not before he gets the conversion. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Giants, 1st down. It's a gain of 25 yards. 1st down, New York.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's gone through this stadium? He picked up that 1st down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, no, this might be it, but found a way to pick up the 1st. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
That's another Giants 1st down. A gain of
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
1st down, here's Estimate. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Estimate once more.
Well, an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Tracy trying the right side. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
At the Jaguars' 22-yard line.
Here's Dart. Now he's going to step up and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
It's a gain of 18. And the Giants 1st down. 1st and goal, New York.
Dart. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
give it to Estime. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. His second rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Giants have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
They go I formation. Fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And now out come the Jags. Things sure were looking good for them at the half. Heck, off the air, you and I were just saying they might run away with this thing and cruise to a victory. Not anymore.
Yeah, the cruise control has to be off at this point. Now you've got to match the gas yourself. Again, who's going to step up and make a big play for you? Who's going to take care of business now that you're being pressed? It is definitely go time for them at this moment.
All of a sudden clinging to a slim lead and hoping to hold on to that lead.
The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line.
So now here is Jackson Dart and the Giants.
Down 28-21, 2:23 to play.
Looking to throw, Dart. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Dart going to look to throw here.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Josh Hines-Allen.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Throwing from the gun here, Dart.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
And the Giants first down. A pickup on the play at 54 yards. First down, Giants.
Yes, down by a touchdown. They needed a big play here quickly, and they got one. And now, plenty of time. No need to panic, but you do need to move quickly.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Giants first down.
They'll go again with Estime. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they stop him at the line of scrimmage.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here now, 2nd and goal. A give up the middle to right.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Back to throw.
He'll try and do this himself. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. Yeah, Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Again on 2nd down. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, a quick reminder, the game no longer ends following an offensive touchdown on the opening drive. Both sides will have the chance to possess the ball unless there's a defensive touchdown. In that case, the game will end right there. So the Jaguars going to get possession of the football first here in this overtime session as the kick is away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And you think back to halftime, they had the big lead. They were in control of this game. They ultimately lost the lead. But right now, with the ball in overtime, a chance to get out in front and force your opponent to play from behind with a good drive here. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on 2nd down. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And he's going to be 31-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now out come the Giants. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Here's 3rd and 7.
They'll drop to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? You go with the bigger guy to try and use size, and try to go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
At the 41-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
2nd and 6. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Number 88. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
But to throw once more, here's Jordan. Jaguar pressure and Jaguar sack.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier, sack on 3rd down. Really? Should have a better game plan installed for how to contain him because he's affecting this game in so many ways.
Fielded at the 20.
Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their 35-yard line.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Abdul Carter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. That is caught. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for Jaguars. First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
It's a gain of 8. And the Jaguars first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
Well, a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
The 26-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they work this near the 5. They'll be stopped at the 6.
Thanks they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. And the Jaguars have won the game. A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different. But ultimately, time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short. And they hold on to win this by just 1 possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go